Part 1. Being Honest with God. Chapter 1. Strong Faith Struggles. Weeping and writhing on the floor. This is how I broke 2 months of silence with God. This moment was preceded by weeks of escalating tension. In the days after learning Eli's diagnosis, my ability to face God faded. Though I knew that Jesus was with us and for us, that we would endure by the help of His Spirit and with the support of our community, and that the Lord would somehow work this terrible loss for good in eternity, our son was going to die. And that agony extinguished my capacity for prayer. It hurt too much to hold God's gaze. I couldn't turn His way. I needed space. But I also knew I needed Him. So after weeks of avoidance, I entered the ring with God. A retreat to a cabin in the woods ensured that no one else would be disturbed by the commotion. There, the tension erupted. I bombarded heaven with my heartache. You can't miss this altercation when flipping through my journal. Pages of neatly processed pain are interrupted by a sheet of smeared ramblings, smudged prayers, half-finished phrases, pieces of songs, fragmented Bible verses, all scratched in the middle of a notebook to keep their memory close. I even scribbled a timeline of those grueling hours and noted how my body had disrupted the dust on the floor. Every detail was important. I did not want to forget this encounter. Some might want to keep the spotlight away from this scene. A 28-year-old man rendered useless by sorrow, a missionary who avoided the Lord for months, a prayer that was more confrontation than conversation, a person of faith with no faith left, or so it seemed. Except that when you page through the Bible, you'll be frequently confronted by experiences like mine. Prayers of pain punctuate the plotline. Sorrowful saints cry out from the storm. Even heroes of faith fall apart. These episodes surprise us because we tend to equate strong faith with confidence and composure. Though we ache and sigh and worry and fear, we hide our hurts behind polite spirituality and courageous belief. But dry eyes are not a telltale sign of strong faith. Some of the most steadfast believers look at the world through tears and walk with a limp. You might be tempted to erase the scenes in your story where you've wept and wrestled with God. But the Lord treasures dented and messy faith. We'll see in this chapter that He doesn't filter out struggle, so neither should we. Strong faith weeps. We typically have a difficult time with difficult emotions. Put simply, it doesn't feel good to feel bad. Sadness, anger, and anxiety are feelings we try to overcome quickly or avoid altogether. And in many parts of Christian culture, there's an imbalance towards positivity, progress, and praise. As a result, unpleasant emotions make us feel uncomfortable and unfaithful. Sorrow seems incompatible with trust in God. Scripture, however, takes you across a different landscape. There, men and women grapple with things like depression, despair, and doubt. But they don't conceal their struggles or rush towards a happy ending. They sit with their sorrow, talk openly about their difficulties, and bring their pain before the Lord. The way they speak so freely about their heartache defies the notion that strong believers always stay poised under pressure. But their sorrow is by no means a lack of faith. Rather, it's their robust belief in God that drives them to engage with Him and express their deepest hurts. Israel's Exodus story calls for our attention. You might remember how, after their rescue, they descended into sinful grumbling in the wilderness. But it's easy to forget how their story began. Faithful groaning. The opening chapters of Exodus introduce a tragic situation. Israel is enslaved to a ruthless king who plots to kill their newborn sons. But God's people do not settle for platitudes like, everything happens for a reason, or that God won't give you more than you can handle. No, they groaned because of their slavery and cried out for help.